This is Appalling News, your most trusted source for fake real news. I'm Paul Chatto. Top story: a third dildo was tossed onto the court during a WNBA game on Tuesday, August 5th, interrupting the Indiana Fever and Los Angeles Sparks. This marks the third incident in the last 10 days. So the question is, what is going on with all the dildos at WNBA games? And we're not referring to the coaching staff. This dildo-throwing trend began July 29th during a game between the Golden State Valkyries and the Atlanta Dream, when a neon green dildo flew onto the court and bounced to the sideline. A nearly identical incident occurred just a few days later on August 1st, when the Valkyries were playing the Chicago Sky. Now it's happened again. Following the second incident, Fever player Sophie Cunningham tweeted, "Stop throwing dildos on the court. You're going to hurt one of us." 4 days later, she was nearly hit by a flying phallus. 23-year-old Delbert Carver was arrested in relation to the first dildo incident in Atlanta. He could potentially face charges of disorderly conduct, indecent exposure, and setting the dildo to orgasm plus. Carver claims it was supposed to be a joke and go viral. No one else has been arrested in the other incidents so far. But what kind of dildo was it? Only Appalling News was willing to go to our local strip mall to find out. Our self-pleasuring tour guide helped us zero in on several possible products. Was it the radioactive reptile? Or how about the 6.5-inch Godameshi handmade night ambit glow-in-the-dark? The American bombshell bunker buster would certainly cause a game stoppage. The naked addiction rotating, thrusting, vibrating dildo had a handy remote. And of course, it could have been one of Mr. Hankey's traffic cone anal trainer series. The mainstream media, once again, refuses to go as deep as Appalling News. We hope this ends soon, as otherwise it will make the WNBA the laughingstock of sports. Now we'd like to present Jasmine Felicia Crockett, born March 29th, 1981, is an American lawyer and politician, serving as the U.S. representative for Texas's 30th Congressional District since 2023.
Thing I know, and two things for sure, baby, they always come back. Gonna let you know, better things. Elevating to late land. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't come back to me when your girl, whatever she was.
She, of course, is a member of the Democratic Party. Over in the United Kingdom, Peterborough Council is providing microaggression training for staff. On this slide about sexually objectifying women in the workplace, with text that includes commenting on the appearance attractiveness of a female colleague, also covering sexual objectification, for example, when a woman is treated as a sexual object. To illustrate this program about sexual objectifying women in the workplace, they have used a photograph of a trans-identifying man who is touching their face in a way that only a woman would, because, as you all know, men make the best women. Now let's go to LGBTQ Nation, an online Wi-Fi password people magazine, which is telling us that masculinity is crippling society. Could trans men be the key to changing that? Apparently, trans men have a gift to give the conversation about masculinity, since they are used to questioning traditional gender ideals, writes Molly Sprayrigan, she, her. The article goes on to say, men have long felt compelled to publicly perform masculinity, and when they don't conform, they pay the price, whether through bullying, self-induced shame, or social isolation. In short, the pressure for men to be manly is crippling society. But at the same time, no one actually knows what it means to be a real man. Such is the subject of an in-depth exploration of masculinity by journalist Jude Ellison S. Doyle, a trans man who posits that we must look towards trans folk to start shifting the way society sees gender roles, and there is no better person to tell what is best for men than a woman on testosterone who owns a Mr. Hanky strap-on. Ellison wrote, "We know how to embody genders the world tells us are impossible. We know that if gender doesn't work, it can change." Doyle made this conclusion after speaking to a series of trans feminists to figure out why the far-right's toxic version of masculinity is appealing to anyone. Because, as a man, there is nothing I enjoy more than heading up to the cabin in the woods on a lake with a bunch of trans feminists and talk fishing, hunting, and masculinity while laying down massive beer farts. Doyle wrote, "Trumpism is a kind of gender performance. It's about shoring up a traditional misogynistic dominance-obsessed ideal of masculinity against social progress, about restoring straight cis-white men to their traditional place at the head of the family and at the top of the world." Sorry, but we're suddenly getting flashes of you at school with your head shoved in a toilet. What's at the heart of most masculine performance is not power or even gender, but a perpetual suffocating anxiety about not performing one's gender correctly. We can say with certainty, men are not spending 1 microsecond suffering from suffocating anxiety about not performing one's gender correctly, because we're not women. Only women think that men think. It's one of the advantages of being a man, not thinking. The article finishes with, "Doyle brings up many questions to which there are no easy answers, but he reminds us that the mere existence of trans people could be a critical part of overcoming these challenges. For now, the only thing he knows for sure is that even though no one can define masculinity, it's killing us." Sorry, Doyle, this article is killing us. You don't like traditional male gender roles because you can't fulfill them. Masculinity is not killing us. It's keeping water flowing, sewage treated, downed power lines repaired, fish caught, ocean fiber optic cable laid, and oil extracted. If actual men disappeared, you ersatz men sporting your wispy stubble would be the first to scream for us. This is Appalling News, and that's the way it is. Or how about the 6.5-inch Gudamechi night ambit glow in the dark? The American bombshell bunker buster? The naked addiction rotating thrusting vibrating dildo had a handy remote? Of course, it could have been one of Mr. Hanky's traffic cone anal trainers.